Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making Dubai chocolate bars. I have a recipe for that. I'm going to show you the things we're going to have to do it, and then we'll get into making it. So first is the, I can't even say this word, remember, K-A-T-A-I-F-I. Not sure how you pronounce it, but got to have that shredded. And then we also need butter, which is in the refrigerator. Pistachio cream. And this stuff you can order on Amazon or Walmart. And I'm going to tell you, some of it was cheaper on Amazon, and then some was cheaper on Walmart. So I ordered from both, actually. And then salt. Got my little salt thing. Tahini. Some tahini. I think I got this at Walmart, I believe. And then I ordered these from Amazon. It's like for the chocolate, for the bars. Chocolate, I got Hershey's. Got chocolate chips. Measuring cups. Bowls, you know, the things like that. But that's pretty much all you need to make this. So I'm going to get started doing that. First we got to melt some butter in a large skillet. But make sure your skillet has has high sides on it, because I'm assuming it has a bowl and it'll kind of rise up. You don't want it to flow over. So make sure if you do this recipe, make sure your skillet is it's a tall skillet. So I'm going to add this will go in first, and we melt the butter and then add this in with the butter. And then we're going to cook, stirring often until golden brown and crispy. It takes about 10 minutes, it says. And then after that's done, you're going to set it to the side to cool. And I'm going to take you step by step of how to do this in case you want to make it yourself. But let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to do 1.5 tablespoons of butter into the skillet. Alright, so we're going to add 1 tablespoon and then 1/2 tablespoon of butter. I've never made this before, so this could be a failed recipe. And then after that, we're going to add in the, I don't know how to pronounce this stuff. Katafi? I don't know. That's what it is. It's shredded phyllo dough. Maybe that's just the brand of it. I don't know, but that's what it is. Shredded phyllo dough. But we're going to add in, what did I say, 1 1/3 cups. So I have all the little measuring cups out here. I'm going to go ahead and get that melted out while we're waiting for that to melt. That looks pretty melted to me. So we're going to go ahead and put in, here is 1 cup of the phyllo dough. This is what it looks like. Kind of looks like coconut maybe or something. I don't know. But we're going to put that in, and it also costs for 1/3 of a cup. So I got 1 1/3 cup of the phyllo dough going into the skillet. So we got to let that brown. Usually takes about 10 minutes. Which ones it look like? It is like a brown, like toasted. That's kind of what you want. And then they said put it in a bowl, and then just put it to the side. So I'm going to pour it in this little glass bowl here. And then we're going to work on the next part. So you're going to set it to the side. You want it to cool. It has to be cool when it goes into the chocolate and stuff. This is what the recipe calls for. Again, I've never made this before. So we are doing this right first time together. We'll see how that works out. I think I'm done with the actual stove. Alright, let me get the chocolate chips and stuff together. Get that in the microwave. And let's get that melted. Okay, so I got the chocolate chips in a microwave safe bowl. It does call for, it says place 2/3 of the chocolate. You can use dark chocolate, white chocolate, you can use any kind of chocolate you want. So I'm putting 2/3 of that bag of the chocolate in the microwave to melt. So let's get that melted. So I had the 2/3 of the chocolate melted. I did that in the microwave. And they want you to melt it up to, for dark chocolate, it'll be 115 to 120 degrees. And then for milk chocolate, like what I'm using, it'd be 110 to 115 degrees. So we are at 150. Ooh, hold on. Ooh, I went a little over. So I'm gonna let that cool for a minute, because it has to be the temperature of 110 to 115. I don't know specifically why it has to be a certain degrees, but I'm going to go right by the recipe before I go to the next step. But our next step does call for, so we can cool it to 89 degrees. Alright, so I'm going to pour in some more of the chocolate. Alright, that should be about the third. So we're going to stir that in. It says it will cool it. And it needs to be to 89. So let's keep stirring this all up. Then we'll check our temperature again. Alright, let's see what temperature we are at now. Alright. So we are at... Well, we're not 89 yet. So I'm going to leave it right there. Let it get to 89 degrees. While we're getting the chocolate to the 89 degrees it needs to be, we're going to go ahead and prepare our pistachio filling. So in my bowl, I'm going to mix pistachio cream, which I showed you. This, it asks for 3/4 of a cup here. Looks like it's probably going to take about the whole jar. It's just a little small jar. I guess you can buy them there, I'm assuming. This is probably exactly 3/4 cup. It kind of looks like it's going to fill it up. This smells like peanut butter. So I'm assuming it's maybe like peanut butter with crushed up pistachios, I'm assuming, in it. I don't know. It smells like peanut butter to me. I mean, it has a little hint of the pistachio scent. But it don't really taste bad. It tastes really good. It may not look very good, but it tastes really good. Measurement. Alright, put this in my bowl. I knew that I wanted to dirty this measuring cup, but I didn't know that at the very time, and I was measuring it out. I guess if I'd done the math, I probably would have figured it out. Alright, now it calls for the tahini. The tahini. And it calls for a 1 tablespoon of tahini. Okay. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of tahini. That looks awful thick down in there. Hold on, let me stir this up really good, because that's thick down in there, and it's kind of watery on the top. Yeah, see, it's kind of thick down in there. So I'm assuming it should be kind of thick all through it, and all this watery on top. I tried to shake it, but it's pretty darn thick. Alright, let's stir it up real good. Well, I realized that. I might have messed something up if I wouldn't have. There we go. Stirring better now. It's getting smoother. Yes, much better. Much better. So remember, if you do this and you get the tahini, I think there's several different recipes you can use. This is just the one I found. I hope y'all made it through this video this far. If so, drop a pistachio nut in the comments. You should have one of those in your emoji. A pistachio nut or chocolate bar. Drop it in the comments so I know you made it to this far of the video. And if you do, I will shout you out in the next video, whoever drops a pistachio nut or a chocolate bar in the video. I mean in the comments, and I will shout you out. Alright, now let's do this again. Alright, so we have 1 tablespoon of tahini. So you pour it right up in there. Because this turns out good. My daughter loves Dubai chocolate. If this comes out good, I'm sure this won't be the last time I have to make it. Because I'm sure she'll be like, ooh, let's do that again. So now this is where my salt comes in. And I need a pinch of salt. And I have a spoon that says a spoon. Oh, this is a smidge. Look at my little spoon. This one is a pinch. A little spoon, a pinch of salt. And that's what it costs for, and that's what I'm going to use. So, here's my little salt container. So put my little pinch of salt in there. There we go. I seen this on Amazon. Again, everything you see in my kitchen, if you ever want to know where I got it from, it's going to be Amazon. And I will set up an Amazon store when I get around to that one. And I'll post the link in the comments on every video. And anything you see, you should be able to go to my link and click on it. And anytime you buy through my link, I get a little commission on it. But I've not set that up yet, so bear with me, and I will. Alright, so that's what it should look like. It's creamy. Smells really good, to be honest with you. Alright, let's check on our chocolate again now. Let's get that back over here. And here's my chocolate. Ooh, look how smooth. Let's check our temperature. And it says that it is still 98 degrees. It needs to be 89. Oh, now it says 100. I don't know. How in the world is that? The bowl ain't even hot anymore. That's weird. We are back. It is now 89 degrees. About 88, 89, so close enough. Alright, now we're going to get our chocolate bar mold here. It says you can use a pastry brush. I do not have a pastry brush. But you're going to put a thin layer. You don't want to gob it in there. You want a thin layer of your chocolate in the bottom. I'm going to try to be as neat as I can. And I'm going to show you one. And then I'll fill up the rest of them. Let them cool. And then once they're cool and we're doing the next step, I'll come back and we'll do the next step together. So just a thin layer, just so you get like the little cubes that's grooved in there. So you get those little, just make sure they're covered, I'd say. Is my guess. Like I said, I've never done this before, so we are kind of doing this together. But it said a thin layer, so I'm trying not to gob it in there. I might be messing up because my daughter absolutely loves Dubai chocolate, and if I can do this, I see me making this quite often, which is fine because Dubai chocolate, if you ever walked into a store and bought one of these candy bars, they're not cheap little candy bars. I mean, they're $5 a candy bar, and this is about the size of them, to be honest with you, for $5. I mean, it's not like gonna break my bank or anything like that, but it's still, for a little candy bar, expensive. But she likes it, so, and she's a little spoiled, so that's what she gets. Alright, so I'm gonna finish filling the rest of these up. Okay, so I just stick it in the freezer to kind of let it set. So it is hard, it is set now. As long as you can't push through it, and it's hard, it's set. Alright, so we're gonna do our filling. So with our pistachio cream and our salt and tahini, we need to pour in our toasted, I'm not going to start to say, I'm going to say phyllo dough. So we need to pour that into here and mix it in. I'm going to do a little bit at a time. Because I think, in my opinion, I think it's quite a bit there. And that's what it costs for it. I mean, did the measurements exactly, so I don't know. I guess I need to do what it says, to be honest with you. Alright, so I'll put a little bit more. Alright, so let's get it in our thingies. We're almost done. So, put it in here and spread it evenly through there, it says. A little bit more. Now we gotta put the rest of the chocolate on top of this and make it like a candy bar, so gotta leave room, you know, to make it, let it sit in there. That looks pretty good to me. I'll do one more with you and then I'll finish it up and come back on. We'll get ready to put the chocolate on top. Let's do one more together. Kelly was going to do this the recipe video with me, and she's like, she's fine. She's not ready, and I don't force her. When she's ready to be on camera, you'll get to meet her. You will eventually. She'll do something eventually with me, but right now she's just not really ready to. And I think you've caught her in a couple clips here and there, but she just ain't ready to get on here and talk and be introduced and things. But she'll get there. So I got it all lined. Let me kind of hold it a little bit closer so y'all can see. All the bars are full with the pistachio cream and things. The chocolate started hardening up. I mean, it did say to put it back in the microwave for just like 5 seconds each time and just stir it up until it's melted back again, and I did that. And then we have to spoon our bars and put a layer on the bottom so we can make a complete bar. So I'm going to do a couple of these with you on camera so you can see how it goes. And then I'll do the rest. And I'll go ahead and let it chill. And then I'll come back with you once it's all chilled and done. And we'll pop one out. I'll pop them all out actually. And break one open and show you what it looks like on the inside. Once it's completely finished. I think I put too much chocolate on that one. So I'll thin all this out. I'll make it more even and better looking. Let's use my little spatula here. I know I put too much on this one, I can tell. I'm gonna kind of just bring it on over. I think that'll be beautiful. Okay, so they are now hard. I broke them. So we're gonna pop one out and see what it looks like. I hope it looks good. I didn't think I told y'all, but I did spray this candy, this silicone thing I poured the chocolates in. I did spray that with Pam, so hopefully they come out easier. This is just the chocolate was kind of over it, which is, that's fine. I was going to try to trim that off anyway. Oh my goodness! Look! They turned out. That is so neat. Well, let's break one open. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Let's taste it. I'm like, don't be eating my Dubai chocolate bars. Man, it tastes good. It really does. That's pretty good. I did good. Maybe the next time, maybe I can do better at it. I don't know. But, like I said, first time I ever did it. Shout out to Michelle. She did request me to do a video on the Dubai chocolate. So, I did that. If there's anything you want to see me make, please comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel. It is 100% free. Costs you nothing. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button. Comment and cost you nothing. Please like the video. Hit the thumbs up button. That helps my channel so much. It helps me so much. And I appreciate you all so much for watching, for subscribing. And if you do that, please comment that you're a subscriber, that you just subscribed, and I will shout you out in the videos. So, and what you want to see me make, you'll get a shout out that way too. Give me a recipe you want me to make. If I don't know how to do it, we'll look it up and we'll try it, just like I did this one. I've never did this before. First time ever. So, we'll learn together. That's fun. But, thank you all for watching and hanging out with me to do this. And I'll see you on the next video.